Okay, hi guys. Welcome to this little interview with Diablo or Carlo, whatever you prefer.
Hello everyone.
Nice
Thank
of
you for having me.
Nice of you to join me. We are going to do a little diary and the road NBM took from the beginning up until now. It's mid-October, end of October. And I'm going to ask Diablo a little bit of the thoughts he had along the road.
Of course.
The first thing I'm going to ask is, how did you guys come up with the idea of NBM and how did you meet? Where do you come from? Not exactly the land, but where did you meet and how did you arrive
so here? There in February, I entered for the first time personally, let's say this play to earn systems through the Upland. And that's actually the game where I met first of all Vedmak, our amazing developer. Yeah. And then afterwards he connected me with Denison, and pretty much that was the place where we met, because Upland is overall the game where a lot of community engagement happens, and a lot of trades and a lot of communication between people and stuff like that, team play and so on and so on. And they also have some similarities with the Discord-based community, and forcing pretty much that all the community gathers on one place. And some of these concepts were very cool for us, and some concepts that Upland has were not so cool for us and stuff like that. And we wanted to improve things. The other guys were also participating in some other games, blockchain games and stuff like that, on the Vax chain and stuff. Me personally, I haven't been involved in pretty much anything else before that. And at some point, Venmak, I mean, as we became, kind of friends and stuff like that, he was always saying that he wanted to, to create his own game and stuff like that. And he was saying about this history where he was, working on some project with some other guys that then just jumped off the project, and he was left alone, and then he just used the platform to practice, to learn some particular stuff about it and so on. So it was a nice experience for him. And yeah, there was this initial idea was actually from Vedmak himself.
So very lucky for us that Vedmak decided to pursue his idea, because he is a damn beast. And
you know how it is when you meet a beast and he comes up with idea, you cannot decline this to pursue the goals.
And not to make you or Denison smaller, not in any way.
No, definitely.
But we have another beast, and I am talking about Z-Mainer. He's a next level artist, and everybody is saying it. How did you find that guy?
That is actually also a connection from Vlad, from Vedmak, because he's already in this sphere and he had connections and stuff like that. We also our second developer, the brother Maxim, brother from Zemaner, is actually was working actually years on some project with Vedmak, and therefore he knew the capabilities of people, and wanted the best team for the project.
It's really great. We always loved Z-Mainer's art from the start till now. It never changed. There were some cards that were not as good as others, but still top level. So I rather go here. It's top level always. So yeah. Actually, we answered the next question I had already, but there's one thing or one person I want to ask about. We see her on Discord sometimes, but she never wrote, never, not once. It's Katarina. Tell us something about Katarina if you are allowed to.
Well, she is, she started as a part-time, so she was not fully involved. She was doing some other stuff initially and stuff like that. Lately, of course, she started to do a little bit more and so on, get a little bit even more involved in the project. But, she always was, kind of shy, obviously, and didn't get involved in the Discord, other than, just getting the profile out there, and having it for some communications, but she wasn't active with the community at all so far. But that doesn't mean that she's not here and,
Yeah.
observing.
Yeah, we are starting to point it out as soon as she shows herself, clipping it, posting the image and stuff. Maybe we start tagging her sooner or later. Yeah, it's nice to know that the team is growing, as you talked about the second programmer, and that the team knows each other at least.
And that's the currently, I mean, we will grow even more, that's
hopefully
during this phase. But the catch is, how to explain this. For example, Vedmak's skills and stuff like that, and he wants to make sure, for example, on the developing part, that new people go, one by one onboarded, that they understand that, everything goes flawless, because all these projects wouldn't be possible to manage so successfully with, just outsourcing stuff to random people, to do different parts. He's a beast, and he simply likes, that's how I see it, and he likes to have it under his control, that everything goes through him and stuff like that. And that's probably the reason why he's able to, deliver this kind of quality. And yes, there are bugs, but that's normal. And the bugs are solved quickly. He knows where to look. He knows how to fix. This is the catch.
So now we had the starting point of NBM. Actually, we went a little bit into the future too. But let's start with the start, the promotion period. It started a few days before I got in late.
When did you join? Sorry for interruption.
On my birthday, actually, on the 29th of July.
Yes, you were actually still early, because the official start was actually 1st of August. The only catch was that we invited initially 20 people. We invited 20 people, like, just to join the Discord, to, just to introduce them. Look, guys, we're doing this and that. We're planning, like, your friends come here, like, just take a look, give us feedback, let's tell us what to do on the Discord, like, what would you like to change, and that's how it started. And then simply before we even started, we had already near 1,000 people. I'm not sure now, was it even crossed 1,000 people before we actually rolled out, or was it near? But it was a very rapid growth, to be honest.
Yes, it was a very rapid growth. So your promotion period went on for 2 months, from start of August till start of October, 1st of October, technically. You already answered a part of it. I wanted to ask, how happy are you with the promotion period, the effect it had, and the community you grew?
First of all, the growth was very rapid. We gathered a huge community, in my opinion, for such a young project. And especially you have to look at it, because at the time there was no game yet, right? That was still just, everything was just plans and presentations, what we plan to do. And due to our method of revealing stuff sooner, closer to it coming out and being actually released, therefore it was really quite limited. And therefore I see it as a huge growth of community in so early stage. And then in the mid-September, when we launched the mining part of the game, the first initial part, this was then additional boost. And everyone was anticipating, as in Backspace, everyone wants initial sale to get onboarded and stuff like that. So it was a little bit of craziness, big hype and stuff like that, and that's good, that's natural. And we are amazed on the quality of community. That's the one thing that I must mention, because simply without community, the quality of it wouldn't be possible to.
I mean,
have it where it
most
is now.
projects butter their community up and say, you're the best. But some communities are, well, I don't go there often. Let's say it like that. But there are a few communities where you really want to take part just because you like talking and making jokes with the people. That's a nice place we found here on NBM, and I think most people agree.
And definitely, I would like to mention like the whole different profiles, because in our game, you know, that we have a strong Russian community, strong USA community. Also, Brazil was growing, you know, Southeast Asia, you know, and stuff like that. Ukraine as well, because that's quite natural, since a big part of the team is actually from Ukraine, like designers and the developer team. So, you know, like international, but still very civil, you know, able to have normal discussions, like with reasoning, actually, not just, you know, fudding something, like, and not looking at the facts, and being able to, you know, simply enter discussions and have productive ones.
That's true.
And a lot of support, of course, from the community in many ways.
Let me just check something real quick. I'm gonna cut one question out because we answered that very, very in depth right now. So the next thing regarding the promotion period, you gave out stickers, a lot of stickers, real huge amounts, so many. And regarding the growth of the community, you even started with card pieces, since there was too much of a demand. Nobody noticed the use case at the start. I mean, I know it. And even after telling people, it took quite a while for them to notice how special these stickers are. I'm gonna take a bigger swing here. The stickers went from around $3 to $15 in 2 weeks. And 3 weeks later, they hit $80 from the promotion stickers you gave away for free.
Yes,
and you gave a lot away.
That's correct. There was above 10,000 assets. I don't even have in front of me the number. I know it was above 10,000 assets in total given away during the promo period. So it might have been even 12,000, 13,000, because when you compare with the card pieces, which 5 of them make actually the active card promo pack, where you get actually 1 card. And we were initially planning to have, you know, like 1,000 was initial targets to have investor rolls. So 1,000 times 10, 10,000 was expected from our side.
So even if we take the lowest point of the $3, that would be $30,000 given away alone in the stickers, and that's insane. And it wasn't $3. The median should be around, I guess, $50 or even $70.
Yes, especially during the September, it was the prices were like very, very high.
Yeah, they spiked even to $140.
I even remember when the bottom was $95 at one point.
True.
So that was like crazy.
And every time you sorry, go on.
Bottoming at near $100 per, you know, for these basic items, but also you have to understand that they're not so basic because they still have utility. Our NBM didn't have you know, purely promotional stuff that would just, you know, be kind of collectibles. Yes, stickers have become, but everyone had an option to burn them, right? That was the catch. So that might have been a reason why the prices have been growing so fast.
Yeah, to me it was surprising that it, let's say, took so long. I thought they would jump faster, and they stayed on $15 for quite some time. And only after people kept buying and buying and buying, the prices spiked hard. And as soon as you announced your first sales, the small sales, prices spiked even harder. It was insane how much these giveaway stickers you gave away for free could be sold. You actually gave about $120 away at some points, and that around 10 to 15 times a day. Pure insanity. And,
yes, it's crazy.
And regarding the stickers, when did you come up with this special blend recipe where you can blend the 5 different collection stickers into 6 packs?
Some of the stuff was actually initially planned. Some of the stuff was, planned on the road, because we have the guidelines and stuff already presented on many stuff, and those guidelines are not, presented to the public always, but we just follow. And as we follow, we also can, monitor the situations, and if something needs tweaking on the road and stuff like that, then the things get tweaked or a little bit modified from initial plans. And this pretty much ability to do so, because not presenting everything 3 months in front, and then, in 3 months something might, because we are revealing, step by step, and want to ensure, okay, like, for example, I know that a lot of people wants PvP out. Yes, of course. Let's go step by step, 1 week, let's prepare this. Maintenance was revealed, was released, was also a little bit tweaked. Then the fusing costs and the other stuff were also a little bit tweaked. But that's all the stuff to ensure that everything works properly. And what is very, very nice to see, actually, today, slowly, some resources already growing in prices, and seems like they bottomed out, and also the market is waking up. What, the commenter also on the secondary market, like, yes, it was amazing to be on the second place so early, actually, on the volume of trading, but it was natural that, at some point it will fall. Why? Because, you cannot expect in 2 months to, just cross suddenly the games that are out there for, like, multiple years. There is the catch. The most important thing is that, we are still only one part of the game is out there, and there is so much to come. So how nothing grows just straight up. Some oscillations must be there.
So I actually wanted to ask this later, but when we are at that point, let's continue with this question. When people ask me how close we are to the release, I always say, well, we have around 10% tops of the game right now. What is your estimate on how much of the game is playable right now with the mining and with the NFT mining and maintenance?
I would like to say it differently. I wouldn't like to say 10% or 50% or 5% or 1%. Why? Because the question is, what is 100%? That's the question. And you already know that, we have plans, and, the plans get fulfilled, but there is next. we are not having in mind yet, clear, okay, that's we want to do, and that's it. We don't have this point in our minds, so it's hard to say, are we on 1%, 10%, or 50%, if you understand me. Because if we continue developing, okay, the mining part comes out, the PvP part comes out. Well, I can never know that Venmo will not just decide to make the I don't know what kind of something on top of it. So let's just go step by step. Let's go. There is a plan. There is let's say, regarding the quarterly plans, the most important features are there. A lot of stuff is, coming on the road, down the road, not even being, pre-announced and stuff like that. But that's all. All those things are actually making people stay interested. Because if we would release, okay, look, everything about something is here, we release it, and then, because we cannot overnight prepare another part of the game, right? So there would be this period where pretty much nothing would be happening, and therefore I think we are doing a better job by doing step by step and having everything splitted on multiple weekly announcements, multiple weekly tweaks, changes, introductions of new features and stuff like that.
Yeah, regarding that, I always tell people there's a bigger picture in mind, and NBM has to be viewed as such, one big picture. some aspects don't work simply by themselves. And that is the thing about fusion and leveling that was changed recently. I guess the math worked out in the long run with everything we can do later on, but with what we can do now, the math simply didn't work. Even the whaliest whale could not really take part. So you changed it that everybody can take part for now. And
sorry for interruption.
No,
The initial way would also work with time. What was
Mhm.
needed is for market to consolidate and for market to recognize how huge the differences are actually between the common level 2, between common level 5, between common level 1 and rare level 1, and so on, between different parameters. But that would need to take time.
Mhm.
And what we started seeing is that actually players were losing patience, kind of,
Yeah.
you know, because no one wants to wait. We are in VAX space, we are in crypto space. Everyone's used to everything going up right away and stuff like that. And therefore we started to reconsidering some of the stuff, how to modify the tokenomics a little bit to have pretty much to move faster forward and to just tweak the costs and reduce the differences. And therefore we started seeing already, you know, quite much more of leveling up and fusing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that. And I like the new system because I can use my tokens without saying, man, that's so much theoretical money I'm spending on a little upgrade that takes long. It's all about investment in the end. And I don't want to talk about other projects. It's just some projects have such a quick growth and faster return of investment, and people see that and want it. It's normal. But we, NBM, you are here for the long run. You want to stay. You want to build bigger, so you need a solid foundation. That's my view on it.
Exactly.
And
because if you jump high in a short period of time, you know that this kind of thing cannot be in a long run sustainable, and it will drop. And you know how it works in the crypto space. Once you drop hard, when we talk about dropping big time, then the future could be questionable. Not because the project cannot sustain it long run, because some projects can still do stuff, but the community will not react good. And what is the project without the community, right? Like, you can make the perfect project, you can make everything perfect, but if you don't have the community, if you don't have the support, if you don't have actually players, then you have the issue. Because whatever you do, the question is how much you can save it.
Yeah, it's simple. The people that jumped on for the money, for the quick money, are the first to leave. And if these people made your project succeed, they will kill it in the end. Regarding the fusion thing that got changed, you implemented something along the road. We are now a little bit messed up on the time frame, but let's just go from theme to theme. And you implemented a voting system. And I'm really glad you did, because we had a discussion in the team had a discussion with us moderators too. And we told them, no, please don't. Please ask the people, and gladly they choose to. And I think the voting system is great. It's really interactive. The community mostly likes it. And everybody has a chance to influence the project. What I have to say before you answer, all the options they put up for vote are sustainable. So the team won't put up something that will kill the game if we choose it. So what are your thoughts on the voting system so far?
So first of all, the most negative like things that I've heard that some community was worried about was mostly about the thing, okay, we are afraid what will happen if, simply people will not think about they will just look for themselves and stuff like that. And there is a simple answer to this question. First of all, with our principle of voting and the worth of the voting points for different users. As if you're a new user, you have only one card, your vote will be worth very little. And on the other hand, if someone is quite invested in the game, have, let's say, 100 assets, you will have plenty more voting power with simply one vote, just as the other user. And what I like to say is that, the people that have a lot, they are aware of the needs for the game, because they are aware that the whales cannot survive by themselves. They need new players as well, and they need the overall game to be progressing, not just them, because they want also in the long run for it to be successful. And therefore, this kind of a proof of stake voting system, I would say it works quite well so far. And yeah, so far the stuff were quite well. I mean, it went quite well. And also the important thing is that, just like you mentioned, we are also always taking care that, everything is sustainable, that, everything can be made. If we put something on vote, we have to be ready to that any of those options can theoretically win. And therefore we need to be making sure that, we can live with it, because if we cannot, then there is no point, right? There would be no sense to kill the game, like you said.
I was talking to Vetmark about this, about a fusion and leveling change before it happened. And when the vote came, I was a bit surprised because a simple reduction wasn't what I wanted. But I mean, it's the quickest and simplest solution, and I still appreciate it. And I asked him immediately, can we later change it back? And he said, it's always open to change. And I'm happy about this, because the rapid growth we have now should be reduced later on. It's my opinion. And this voting system is on the NBM website you guys built. You have your own website. There's a lot of different stuff. For example, you have a lottery, you have mini games. Even before the game was
lottery
playable.
have been rebranded to Lucky Draw.
Lucky Draw sounds a bit more legal. Yeah, on top of the giveaways, there was the Lucky Draw where you could take part with wax, and every single bit of wax was redirected to the community. So it was simply a game you implemented, and this thing is still going strong. Everybody seems to love it.
Yes, we always, when the new cards are coming, usually it's used for this purpose. When new cards are coming, we always mint the lowest mints, and therefore we can control that. Since you know how the system is with the minting of our assets, mint number 1, there is only one for the whole card, never mind the rarity, the level. And therefore, it's a kind of a nice souvenir also to have a low mint and quite solid card. And also worth to mention that, as you remember, initially we were using TipCC bot for returning it to the community, and then, just everyone was picking up. But since in the meanwhile the mining came out and we introduced this VAX pool, and this is amazing thing, because this also it replenishes the VAX amount in the pool. And also, let's not forget that NBM is now for quite some days already giving 3,500 VAX to the community back on daily.
Man, and you are too prepared for this stuff. I wanted to ask about this now. Finish your thought, man.
No, regarding this VAX, this is 3,500 VAX per day. That means monthly. That's quite a big amount of VAX, let's be honest, right?
Yes, that's the second part of the question. Another thing I was really surprised about, I thought I read wrong about daily. So what I wanted to say, you have this lottery, you don't keep the Lucky Draw, you don't keep the VAX in any way. The voting VAX gets returned, everything goes back. And now you even fill the VAX pool daily. And another thing, partners get paid out
Yes.
to on a certain level, depending how
Yes,
many
they have
NFTs were dropped.
weekly competition with the 5,000 wax for the first prize,
Yeah.
1,000 wax for the second, 500 wax third, and the rest of the collections that provide through partnership pool at least 40 assets weekly. They get also 100 wax.
So budgeting does not seem to be a problem right now.
No, if you're worried about sustainability, don't worry. We are sustainable the way at the moment everything looks like. If something wouldn't be sustainable, and it would be tweaked, and we also have prepared some reserves to to return to the community and stuff like that. So
I mean,
nothing to worry about.
if you get back to the start of the video, where we talked about the giveaway stuff and the worth of it, you're giving so much money away. I don't even need to play. I have just to take part. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, we have from the start decided to like give back to the community as much as possible in a way, in the long run, of course, not everything in one day, not when you make it in a long run, then it is also additional prizes. And when you come to mine resources, you can get wax, you can get this and that, all this additional stuff is kind of motivational, in my opinion, for user base.
And since we are on the website stuff, let's stay there. We talked about the main sale and the way to the main sale, the website itself, what you provided there. You gave us a mining grid where you can, even with one active card, take part technically, and you can win wax, partner NFTs, card pieces. So you can actually play the game with one single active card, and if you are lucky, you get stuff. It's really great. The active team gas is a little bit forgotten right now, since you get resources, and it's a little bit more effort to play it good.
Mm-hmm.
Are any more mini games planned?
At the moment, we are not focused on this part, but definitely down the road, I would be surprised if we wouldn't introduce something more. But at this current stage, like nothing coming next week.
Okay,
as much as I know.
Next week. Okay, I'll know you next week again. The most surprising part is one of the active games, the last active game actually, was a community contest, the Mining Grid.
Exactly, the Mining Grid was a community contest. That was due to Vedmak being a little bit in front with developing, and he decided, okay, there is enough time to, first he created the active team guess, and afterwards he said, okay, I still have time to create something more. And therefore we asked community, like, okay, guys, let us know what would you like to play, what kind of mini game. And therefore the winner of the contest was the Mining Grid, and yeah, we got it implemented, and it serves nowadays as our planned public mines. Where actually people without a land can still participate, or simply players that have extra cards and they want to put them in use. They can use this a little bit reduced rewards, of course, in comparison to the mining itself.
I'm just gonna cut on this because people will ask it 100%. You mentioned public lands. There will be still another part, these rented out lands. That's still a thing planned for the future?
This is still planned for the future, but I cannot talk about the details on it because will it be just renting lands? Will it be renting slots on the lands? Let's wait with these parts, because a lot of stuff is coming, and this part I cannot talk about more at the moment.
I just wanted to prevent people thinking that the public land in the form of the Mining Grid would be this renting part. So it's different. Another thing I like about the website, it's off-chain properties. So
for example, the stuff, the most important thing is that, for example, the wallet that is, the functioning what we are keeping track, for example, when the users are, you know, withdrawing, depositing and stuff like that, those transactions are, you know, literally going from the NBM wallet to the wallet of the user. But on the other hand, like all the tiny transactions where, you know, maybe some stronger player have like 10, 15 or even more lands, mining operations, maybe 20 cards on a mining grid. Just imagine how many CPU, how many resources would be spent if every time, every single, you know, thing would be directly going to the wallet in small quantities. And therefore that was the most logical solution to actually do it as a website where actually everything is how to say, the database and everything that's happening, to keep it on our side until the moment where the user actually is withdrawing, depositing, or, you know, wants to do a kind of a bulk transaction.
Yeah.
And also additional thing is that users, when they are actually mining, when they are doing different stuff, they don't need to send their assets they don't need to send it from their wallets. And that's also a huge perk for the sparing the resources on VAX.
Yeah, I could 100% say if everything had to be confirmed and a transaction on the chain, my stake wax would not be enough. And other projects could learn a lot from off-chain wallets. Some come to my mind. I won't talk about other projects, as I said, but as you mentioned, all these little assets, just imagine sending an operation out in the fields to mine, taking it back, repairing and sending it back again. It's unnecessary, and you made it, so it's not necessary. I love it. I love this website. I love this off-chain working things. It's great. The next question, yeah, you want to add something?
I would like to mention that, by the way, as this could be an initial thing for community, by the way, we are also working on the redesign of the website. So yeah, I can talk more about it, but yeah, that's also a work in progress at the moment.
Damn. Yeah, you mentioned that some time ago. You mentioned something like that, and I didn't even ask further because I know I get no answer. And I think I begged for a sneak peek, so a little pixel at least. And you only said it will be really good. And I can't think otherwise with Redmark and Z-Mainer as the core people working on this, I guess, since yours and Denison's job is on another part of the team, if I remember correctly. But I keep noticing you are a beast yourself. You are prepared as hell. I can't even ask the follow-up questions because you already answered them. Yeah, maybe I have to step up a bit.
You know, a lot of times, you know, if you have a script, then you know what you shouldn't talk about. But when I don't have a script, it's simply sometimes crosses with the pre-planned questions.
Yeah, maybe I should start asking more stuff on stream again. I see it now, the spicy questions. So, talking about the website and loving it and buttering you all up for doing it. While waiting for the main sale, you guys did the small drops, the small sales to try different platforms out. Atomic Hub wasn't the best, Nifty Blocks wasn't the best, so Redmark simply decided, okay, I do my own thing. We can do it better or easier. And what essentially become of this thought was a bot-free sale on your website. Let's say not bot-free, but quite.
First of all, the investor role was provided to the user base that have already accumulated. That was kind of a reward for the early adopters that were with us early and accumulated some assets, didn't sell them and stuff like that. While on the other hand, also newer users could also jump in on this train, but that was quite costly at the time because I think that was around $600, $700 at the time, right? On average.
Yeah, so that fits. Yeah.
On average, there was a moment where it
Yeah.
was even more expensive, but
Yes.
that was the kind of the average of this September time. And therefore, Wedmark have prepared in this investor pool actually to be happening on our own side. There is also a reason why, the public sale have been, still on Nifty. That the reason is, and also the reason why we had those tiny mini sales prior to, it's not only for testing, but it's also for the marketing, because a lot of those tiny drops, they draw a lot of attention from the
Yes,
new user base, and that
they
was
did.
kind of our goals. And yeah, it was quite successful therefore. And regarding the final decision between the Atomic Hub and the Nifty blocks regarding the public part of the initial sale, we have decided to simply use the Nifty blocks, what was kind of surprising for a lot of people I've been talking with, because still Atomic Hub is #1, but let's say Nifty has some better features than Atomic Hub on some points and stuff like that. That's one of the reasons. Well, second reason is also one thing we were disappointed during the initial period with Atomic Hub. We had waited for very long to get our filters done, and they were done literally. Was it before or after the initial sale? Afterwards?
After.
It was after. I don't even have the date in mind, but I know it was a lot of waiting. Then there was also, we wanted to have a banner on the Atomic Hub and stuff like that.
I was actually missing that.
Yes, that didn't happen after all, because initially I was personally doing the conversation, asked regarding it, are the dates available and the pricing they presented, and I'm answering, okay, we are taking this and this. No answer.
Wow.
But okay, that was not surprising, because that was not surprising because Vedmak was on the other hand also communicating with them, and it's like, we wait sometimes for answers like for a week and stuff. So I was not bothering myself too much, but after some time I sent second, third, fourth mail, and stuff like that. Nothing coming back. And then at some point Vedmak succeeds to get in touch again with them, and they claim they didn't never receive anything from me. And on the website we checked, really they had either some error, some bug, or somehow the mail didn't come through for some reason.
Damn it.
Anyways, and then I say, okay, in 1 week, okay, but we want to take it, yeah, but now all the dates are reserved. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
With this kind of way, like, you kind of look like you don't want to do the business, right? Then
yeah, it was a bit sad, since you said Atomic Hub is still the most viewed page, and the banner would have been really important in my opinion. I even DM'd you about it, why we didn't have one. I still, just some thoughts real quick. I still think this was one of the best sales, if not the best sale I ever took part in, because everybody could get whatever they want. We didn't sell out. I don't think that's a problem. I think it's great since everybody could get what they want. Flippers didn't profit, bots didn't profit, prices were almost on market on sale price. So I don't see this as a bad sale. Most people see it as a bad sale if they don't sell out. And I totally disagree, because most sales simply go, here, come on, buy, whoop, everything is gone. Great sale.
Depends on from which perspective you look.
Yeah.
Like when I was a player, I was also hunting for those, like if I want to make a quick flip, I'm not even really interested. I mean, 5 minutes, just look at the project. Okay, will it flip good? It will. Okay, let's try to buy, just to sell. I have no interest in the project, but is that beneficial for the game? That's my question. Like game will make money because they will, sell everything off quickly. Cool.
Yeah.
And stuff
and
like
on
that.
secondary too. Yeah.
Yes, on secondary will logically then grow even harder. But the question on the other hand is, what is the most beneficial for the real players and the people that actually want to be involved and stuff like that. So this actually not giving too much space for flipping actually was quite beneficial for
Yes.
real users. So they didn't have to, buy ×10 on the secondary market and stuff like that.
So I can tell you, I was on a Discord call with Joe Victor and Ole, and we
Hmm.
were laughing our asses off because the prices of the packs went lower and lower and lower, closer to market price. And I even got a Dominator station 50 cents cheaper than market than initial sale price. It was so funny.
That were attempts of the flipping and
Yeah,
unsuccessful ones, and
it
then
was. I loved it. I loved it. Not that I'm not against flipping, but I loved that the NBM flippers died and dried out, and yeah, it was. I loved it. Easy as that.
yeah.
And I keep promoting it to other projects. If they really want to reduce bots, they have to take a special role and do it off chain. Otherwise, you will always have bots. If I need an NFT to join the whitelist, I simply buy it. For 10 accounts, I set up 10 accounts, everybody claims, and the drop is gone. And if you do it off chain, it becomes more problematic. Does the bot work even on the website, depending how they set up the sale?
The point is, you know what the bots are for. The bots is to be faster than other user. What our investor pool was actually providing is stress-free buying.
Exactly.
So I mean, you can do it with a bot. You can make a script to buy instead of you, but there is no advantage because normal users still have the same amount of time if he deserve it, right? So he can buy it in 20 hours from now, theoretically. There is no difference did he, raise or didn't raise. And on the other hand, the public pool was big enough to, accommodate everyone who really wanted to enter and was lasting long enough. So that's the result of the initial sale after all.
Yeah. And even before the initial sale, you acquired a lot of partner collections. And after the sale, I honestly, I lost a bit of sight. There are so many partners now taking part in the NBM pool, and you can mine that stuff from the mining grid and NFT mining.
There is currently around
that. Yeah,
I think there is currently around 15 collections there. Some of them, drop out because no time. Some collections are also a little bit limited because this partnership pool do consume a lot of NFTs, and some collections cannot keep track in the long run with the tempo, but they are always welcome to rejoin. Some other new ones join, and that's it. That serves the purpose as it's supposed to serve. Sometimes when they need a promotion, they can use it and they can join. On the other hand, our users get additional value, while at the same time, the collection gets quite good marketing.
And I think the demand will increase as soon as you release the boosting, where you can slot on your land on additional slots up to 3 and a maximum of 10% per land.
Let me talk about it in more detail.
Good.
So the point is that first of all, we haven't made public in the roadmap yet the staking program number 2, but we have already presented it initially to all our initial partners that are participating already in the partnership pool. So what is worth to mention is, first of all, don't mix up the first and the second program, because they are not the same. If some collection is a participant of the partnership pool, that doesn't mean that their NFTs will be stakeable on our platform. Second thing worth to mention, even if some of these collections will become the participant of the second partnership program, that doesn't necessarily mean that all NFTs that they are dropping will be stakeable. Again, and there will be a lot of parameters that we are working with those collections that are interested, and they actually have a right to choose which level of percentage boost they want. We have offered currently 7 levels from 0.5% to 3.3%. So as you know, in roadmap states 10%, but the real number is 9.99 because there is the maximum boost is 3.33% per asset, right? And the land will have 3 additional slots for the additional boost.
I think these will really drive the demand. And I even asked you in DM already about it, since I got a beautiful collaboration NFT from what was it? Atomic
Atomic
Kings NBM. It really is beautiful. I love it. On the front, it's Atomic Kings,
school.
and on the back it's
And
NBM. And I love
the
it.
color
And
is
I
blue.
immediately thought, that could be a boost NFT. It looks so good. It has both. Idea and Diablo, and I can't talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, about some stuff. Simply, there is time when you still cannot talk, and there is time when it's ready to be, you know, announced and made public.
And
talking about
talking about time.
The following, like we had the target from the last week to this week, you know, to prepare the logic and stuff, and the following week will most likely be the implementation of the, you know, of the stuff, and, you know, onboarding slowly, stuff like that.
And I need at least 15 or 18 of these boosters at least. So I have to save up some money, because I bet you they will go up in price.
I can tell you this, first of all, the collections that will enter this program will have a right to choose themselves which assets do they want to be used for boosting. So they choose a certain program, but they also will have the duty of weekly payments in assets for NBM shop, and this will be additional items in the shop as well, which will serve as additional token sync, right? And again, like that's just, you know, basic stuff. I will not go into deep until we have it public.
You know, I love every bit of new info I can get, you know it. Yeah, and as I tried, speaking of time, I have one last question, and I know I won't get many answers. We covered almost everything NBM did so far, and the road it took, the community it grew, the community how it evolved. So how are you expecting it will go in the future? I mean, we have PvP planned for December. The metaverse is going to hit, I think, February.
The first thing that I would like to mention is that first we will be working on the card game, and then the December PvP. Yes, I know we didn't, you know, specify too much, but as you know, usually how it goes with us, the first thing that you can already expect is the card game coming relatively. I mean, the initial plan was for the November, as much as I remember, and yeah, this is still on track so far.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about the card game. I think you never officially talked about it, so I never mentioned it in chat before.
Yes, because initially, when we were planning the project overall, initially, like before anything coming public and stuff like that, the initial idea was actually to have the PvP part as a card game, you know. And, you know, at this stage when we were just talking about, okay, we could make a game and we could make this and that, you know, that was the initial plan. And, you know, the initial plan was like, okay, we will just start making the, you know, like cool project as a hobby. And, you know, very soon enough, it became full-time for everyone, full-time project. And, you know, the plans grown, and, you know, once we seen that, you know, the people are interested in it and stuff like that, we decided to, okay, let's focus and let's make it much better than we even initially planned. And therefore the results are, you know, constantly improving. And when you ask me like what's the percentage, I cannot say percentage, because as long as the community is here and we keep being motivated for, you know, putting up in front new goals after the announced ones are done, you know, we will continue working on it.
So the 3D game wasn't initially wasn't planned.
Initially when we were, you know, planning the project before we started, you know, before the roadmap, before you know, we started to gather the community, initially was planned for card game, like card game, you know, like you know, like that was, but we are talking now about, you know, much before, you know, a few months before, actually August, before we even, you know, talked with the community and stuff like that. But in the later stage, we figured out, okay, we will focus on, let's like make this project big, and, you know, let's make a good thing out of it. Not just a card game, we can do much better. And when the, you know, when the team was gathered and, you know, the capabilities was seen, then, you know, started to grow the ideas of, okay, let's just, you know, let's do not just the card game, let's continue with raids, let's, you know, do the metaverse, the whole thing, let's, you know what I mean. What's planned for us.
So I know you guys follow the chat sometimes. Are you getting some ideas from people talking and speculating on the future?
There is a lot of, for example, I would like to mention the ideas and feedback channel. Is very interesting channel where a lot of good ideas spark. Some ideas are good, but somehow are not the like not wouldn't be the best for the whole concept that we have in mind and stuff like that. But we are still, you know, reading every single idea, monitoring every single idea. Some of them are, you know, even seem like implementable, and we simply implement them, or we plan to implement them. Again, the some ideas in the battlegrounds where, you know, people are speculating, that this channel I find more like amusement for me when I have a 5 minutes to read about, because, you know, on some stuff I'm not supposed to even talk, so, you know, I just let it be, let people speculate, and even fun for me, fun for them, you know.
I think you are the one who can control himself the best. If I ask Vetmark, it seems he types it out, sends it, and then realizes, maybe I should not have sent it. And Dennison loves to give us some infos too. And I think you are the best at controlling yourself.
Yeah, I try. I try my best.
So now you have to deliver. Looking at the future, do you have any spicy sneak peek for the people who have made it this far in the video?
I have already said just 5 minutes ago about the about the staking boost for the partnership program that haven't been still revealed, for example. Yeah, maybe you would like to know, I mean, now it's not anymore because already came in the sneak peek today, the new card from the mining album, right? And the special abilities that the cards will have and stuff like that. Of course, I cannot talk many details, but yesterday this was a sneak peek information from me, because I
just tell us something about the icons. Are they special, or are they just pictures?
I like this speculation so much.
Oh, God damn it.
Keep it on fire.
I tried, guys. I tried. Okay. Yeah. I would say we covered almost anything. I am quite happy how it went. I loved the way you answered everything. And I would wrap it up if you are
good. Sure, and thanks to everyone who will watch us, and you know, like whatever questions there are, we're, you know, daily on the Discord, and whatever comes up, we are here to answer whatever we can.
Yeah, just post your questions under the video. I will check it daily, and if I can answer it, I will. Otherwise, join the Discord. I will link it so you can take part in NBM too. Thanks, Diablo, for joining me. It was a pleasure. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, RG, for hosting, and
see you around.